Sorry? My brain has stopped. This is supposed to be a quick editless video because it's technically actually after midnight because I was working on an essay and homework and stuff, but it's not midnight yet on the West Coast, so I'm gonna go with I live on the West Coast still, and I still have time. I'm also trying to talk really quietly, and I can't talk fast and quietly, so yeah, I'm trying to talk quietly because my mom's asleep in the next room, so yeah, I don't want her to wake up and yell at me for making noise. But yeah, I was going to talk about things. I've done this video about 6 times in my head, and it was always like very fast and animated and good, and it's not coming out. Right, Dan's question about bunburying. Yes, I have been bunburying. Actually, I'm doing quite a complicated bunbury currently, which is why I can't actually tell you a grand and exciting story about bunburying because that's the one that's at the forefront of my mind, and I can't tell you about it in case this video should fall into the wrong hands. But, see, I kind of approach both. Well, I approach the internet in a I can be multiple people at one time thing, who are all the same person, but go by different names, and all different things. This is not working. But I approach my school that I'm currently at the same way Katie approaches going out. I'm never going to see these people again. Except there's a problem with that. I see them now. So I end up having classes with the same person, but going by 2 different names because of reasons. And that could be complicated if they ever find out that I'm the same person, but they won't because one of the classes is online. It works wonderfully, except not, but wonderfully. Let's just go with wonderfully. So yeah, I think in some ways lies can be very necessary, I would say, in everybody's life at some point or another, and aren't necessarily always a bad thing, because sometimes the truth can be worse. As far as Katie's question, yes, I agree that oftentimes a simple lie is easier than a complex truth, but also that the complex truths really do matter. But that doesn't necessarily mean that every simple lie is bad. It depends on the circumstance and the context, and there's no absolute one way or the other thing for every single situation has one answer that's the same. Like, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, actually, even before I watched your videos, which I just did a couple minutes ago, actually, because I haven't had time. But I've been thinking about this a lot lately, primarily because I am a person who just naturally tends to research things a lot in absurd detail about things that nobody cares about and that I probably don't really need to be researching anyway. Currently, I'm doing a paper, so I actually do need to be researching, so that's excellent. But I'm also currently reading this book, which is Irish Catholic and Scouse by John Belcham, which is the history of Liverpool Irish, because I'm writing a paper on Liverpool English and the accent is highly influenced by Hibernian English, which is the English that's spoken in Ireland. Yeah. But basically, this book, at least the part that I've read so far, I'm here, and I need to be at the end of this book, by Tuesday, because it's an interlibrary loan book, and so I have to take this back to the library and then never see it again, which is sad because it's a really good book and I want to keep it. Especially because it's also a really slow book. Like, there's a lot in here. It's a very meaty book. But yeah, a lot of it is about stereotypes of the Irish and how they developed and then the effects of them and what they were thought of at the time and then how these views change over time and how a lot of times stereotypes in being stereotype can make the stereotype come true. Like, there's this line that I really like in a show called The Black Donnellys that's something to the extent of people think being Irish is just bleh, being drunk and getting in fights all the time. Sometimes that makes you really angry. So angry that you just want to get shit-faced and punch somebody or something like that. That's not the exact line at all, but it's something to that effect. And also, today is St. Patrick's Day. Or yesterday was St. Patrick's Day because it's now 12:43 a.m. I've been talking for over 6 minutes. How? No, I haven't been talking for over 6 minutes. I've been staring into space for most of that time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, between reading this book and it being St. Patrick's Day, and me having a Tumblr and therefore ranting about things on the internet and Twitter, I was already thinking about this a lot. Like, things that just become accepted as true or as just a totally normal thing that really, when you actually think about them, actually don't make any sense at all and especially don't match the truth of the actual situation. That was a really loud car. It's clicking. That was weird. Anyway. I should probably stop talking now because I don't know where this video is going. Ugh. This video is really good in my head, just so you're aware. I'm gonna go now, I guess. No, wait, I remember something, 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 um, something, 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 no, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, St. Patrick. And the whole way that St. Patrick's Day ends up being in the United States tends to be things that either A, St. Patrick would not like at all, or, well, yeah, not or, but and it ironically and to me kind of hilariously in a really sad way turns into a let's hate everyone who's British day. St. Patrick was British, just so you know. So that makes sense. Other things that don't make sense, the whole luck of the Irish thing that people apparently think is good luck, it's not. The luck of the Irish was started as pejorative in the United States in that time period of history right around the famine when people were really super racist against the Irish. That basically the Irish have terrible luck, which, if you look at their history, makes sense, and that to be around someone who's Irish is bad luck, and that they just sort of spread negativity wherever they go, and so to have them in your area is bad. And that was kind of a common thought thing, and yeah, so that's where that came from. And just a lot of other things, like everyday things that we just accept as true that are completely different from what they actually are. And the stories of how these lies came about and what they actually mean is really, really interesting to me. But at the same time, I also really value the actual truth and finding the actual truth of them. And now I actually am going to go. Dan, I will see you tomorrow. Wait, yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.